I am completely a mood reader, but yes, I play a TBR game. I know that if I didn't have direction for my reading, I would be staring at my bookshelves and just feel overwhelmed by everything there is. Not to say I stick to my TBR, but it's nice to have something to look back on when I'm overwhelmed with the choices of every single book that I want to read, which is more than what's on the shelves. Like, there are so many books out there on KU everywhere that I'm so interested in. And in July, none of that changes. The vibes are high, and I'm excited to see what we're actually gonna read this month and what's gonna go on the TBR game. But first, we gotta keep the vibes even higher with the sponsor of today's video, which will be perfect when you're reading the fantasy romances that I'm about to put on my TBR. Because when the enemies become lovers, you really should reach for Bellesa. Bellesa is a bi-woman company for all things sexual wellness. Their message is to empower everyone to explore, embrace, and celebrate their sexuality. So today let's talk about some of my favorite products that will help you achieve their message. First up, we have the Rose, which is literally known for going viral on TikTok, and it's so cute. It looks like a little tiny rose and I'm obsessed with it. This has 10 different modes to it to help you really explore your own body. It's rechargeable, it's splash proof, it's everything you could need wrapped up in the cutest package. Another favorite of mine is the Pebble. What I really like is how it fits into the palm of my hand, how the suction and the vibration are controlled independently, which really gives you the power to your own pleasure. And then we have the Thump, which I think comes in one of the most discreet cases. Like, this literally looks like a glasses case in my opinion. Like, no one's gonna know what you have in here. This is a toy that does it all. It suctions, it thumps, it vibrates, everything you actually could ask for. This does feature Bellesa's Pleasure Jet technology and their True Feel vibrations, and this is a gooder. Like, I love all of these products, but this one literally does it all. Listen, I think July is the perfect time to splurge on yourself, which is why my friends at Bellesa and I are doing a giveaway. Everyone who signs up for my giveaway will receive a free rose suction with their order. You cannot miss out on a deal like this and taking care of yourself. Every single month I play Snakes and TBR Stacks, which is my TBR game. It's pretty self-explanatory. We roll die 5 times if I've completed my TBR, 6 times if I didn't. I didn't again. And then if I land on a snake, I have to add another roll to my TBR. And then if I land on a ladder, it's like a reward prompt and I get to go up. Each spot has a prompt for me to use to help give me direction for my TBR and pick some books that I'm excited to read. And let's get into roll 1 and hope the month is good to us. Last time we ended on Gods, so we start there for roll 1. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm cursed. Landing on a snake first roll feels like a bad omen. That's all I'm gonna say about that. However, audio is one of the nicer prompts that I love to get. And this year I've been working my way through a specific series through their audiobooks. Well, a specific world/universe. And I'm excited to continue on. I will be picking up Lady Midnight for this, which is the 3rd series I will be reading in the Cassandra Clare universe. I'm really excited to get back into present time with this series. I loved the Mortal Instruments, and I was so let down by the Infernal Devices, which made me really sad because everyone said I was going to love it. Actually, at the time of me filming this video, I still have about 30% in Clockwork Princess to finish. I'm just waiting for my library hold. It got returned to the library, so I'm hoping to get it back either by the end of this month or the very beginning of next month, because once I'm done this, I can continue on to this series. I just didn't love the old-timey feel of that one. I missed what was happening in the actual story that we had just had, and I think this one will feel more like what the Mortal Instruments felt like, especially because I really, really like the character that we've set up in this series. They all are independent series of each other, but of course there's things that correlate and overlap within a world. I really liked Emma when we got her featured in the last half of that Mortal Instruments series. I really think that what is about to come, it could be my favorite series in the world so far. I feel like the Infernal Devices kind of slowed me down a little bit because I just wasn't in it. So I'm really, really hoping that I'll be in it with this one. Roll 2. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Building on the cover, this was actually a really easy one for me to pick because I decided to go with Verity Guild, which is my newest Fairy Loot book. This has the most stunning cover/edition with this beautiful building on the cover. I recently learned that this was a locked-in story, which has me extra excited. But honestly, I know nothing other than that. Oh, it's also a murder mystery, which I guess does make sense with like the locked in aspect of it. I think this could really work for me. I love a murder mystery in a fantasy setting. I love an isolated setting. It says that she has spent her life hiding the truth. Love when there's a secret that someone's hiding. She is the last surviving heir of the magical bloodline the Republic slaughtered. One wrong step could be fatal, but when a senator is brutally killed and a temple blade is found at the scene, all eyes turn to her. Like, that sounds really good. Also, this artwork, it's gorgeous. I'm obsessed with that. I actually hadn't taken this off. Oh my god. Tell me that that isn't beautiful. Holy crap, if I don't love this book, I'm going to cry. That is stunning. Holy crap. Hopefully I'm obsessed with this. I do think that we are bringing back Patreon buddy reads outside of my official book club. We're going to do a monthly official buddy read. And I do believe that this is currently winning in the poll. It could change, but it's got a decent amount of a lead. So I think we will be reading this as a buddy read in my Discord, and I'm really excited to yap about it with everyone. I hope we all love it. I've really been missing like a community aspect recently in reading, and so I'm hoping that bringing back official buddy reads will really help with that, because the Indie Archive, which is my book club I run on Patreon, is one of my favorite things to do, and really I think brings in that community aspect. So my book club is open to the Wyvern tier and up, but buddy reads will be open to everybody in my Patreon, and I think that's exciting, and hopefully we all find some new books to love. Roll 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bless the game board for giving us a skip, because although I am back to liking reading and wanting to read, I'm also reading way less than I've ever read before. And so honestly, completing 6 books in a month right now is really hard for me. Currently at the time of filming this, I've completed 2 books and it's the end of June. I will finish a 3rd one by then, and technically I've read half of Clockwork Princess. But this is so far below what I used to read. I used to be reading 10 to 12 books a month and now like 3. So a skip was needed in my opinion. Roll 4. Okay, we got 5. We have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spooky, and we go down. Spooky, which just means a book that's spooky in some way, really. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really interested in horror and thrillers currently, so I'm kind of like sad that I landed on this one. But there is one that I've been really interested in recently, which is Dissection of a Murder. I was actually gifted this book by Book of the Month. This is not an ad, I've already done one for them, but now I own the book and I picked this book. Like, I got to pick what I was interested in, and this one does interest me. I wanted to be a defense lawyer actually before I realized I hated school, and now I talk about books on BookTube. So legal stuff really does interest me. I took business law classes in the couple years of university I did. I took a criminal law class. Like, I really do enjoy this kind of stuff. I read all of my contracts thoroughly. Like, I am interested in all of this. And so I've never tried a legal thriller before, but I wonder if they would really, really work for me. And I had heard good things about this from like Goodreads and stuff when I went to pick it, just by like early access people. It's about a young lawyer forced to defend a man on trial for murder against the mentor who taught her everything, her husband. Oh, well, that's an interesting twist. I'm definitely intrigued by this one. Roll 5. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -1. The board said bet. Sorry about that, snake. Here's a -1. So I think it's pretty clear what I'm going to be removing, which is Dissection of a Murder. If I get to this one, I will still be excited. I just don't foresee me picking up this type of story right now. I'm really just reading so little that what I want is fantasy and romance and just like those vibes. But also, I just read that twist and I was like, that sounds good. So maybe I'm making a mistake removing this off my TBR, but honestly, I could pick it up anyways. I look at my TBR as like, these are the things I'm interested in. Roll 6. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Person on the cover and a snake. I take it back. The board is tricking me. It gave me another snake. At least it's typically a pretty easy prompt. I have really learned to love like people cover art, and this one honestly I'm obsessed with the cover of, and that's Above. Look how stunning this is, and the sequels cover is just as good, which like sometimes that doesn't happen. I found this one on TikTok through Kylie. I have a vlog actually coming out soon where I will showcase a couple TikToks from her, and I will leave her TikTok link down below. This is a dystopian story, I think, although it does sound fantastical, so I'm like not 100% sure how that works. I know there's an academy setting in this as well, and that's really all I know about it. The TikTok just made it sound so good that like I am literally excited to read this one. Magic is awarded to those who earn it, and our main character was lucky enough to have her prayers answered and be given magic. She is the first person in her bloodline to possess magic, but all things come with a cost. While she has centuries of life ahead of her as a magic-wielding Shaitan, the family of non-magical Edie she treasures more than anything does not, and after spending years researching a way to extend their lives, she's ready to take a different step, the Elite Academy, which will afford her shadow magic and a chance at a better life for them all. But the elite forces consist of purists who would rather see an Edie like Nova die than exist in a moment of peace or prosperity. Can she survive long enough to complete academy and find a way to extend her family's lives? Or will she, like so many of the Edie before her, find that it's not a safe place for those who don't fit the mold? Like, that sounds really good in my opinion, and I'm really intrigued to read it, and I hope I love it because I want this to sit on my shelves forever. Roll 7, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third person really just means the book has to be written in third person, which is actually harder than I thought it was going to be. I typically have been choosing Cassandra Clare for this because all of her books fit this, but I'm only aiming to do one of her books per month. If I do any extra, that's like beautiful, but like I don't want to put pressure on myself to read more. So I wanted to look around and see what I was interested in, and I have been living in dystopian romance and just dystopian in general so much, and for my birthday I was gifted a new dystopian, A Stark Few. I have heard really good things about this, although I don't really know what it's about. She is her prisoner, he is her guard, both are powerless. Kalani Keynes has never stood on the surface of the earth. Humans have lived underground for hundreds of years, and she's never left the dark city of Apollo. I love this kind of setup in dystopian. I think it makes a lot of sense that we would end up like underground after like nuclear fallout or something. She longs to visit Genesis, the final place where humanity lives beneath the sun. But when Kalani is thrown into prison for a crime she didn't commit, all the fragile hopes she once had are destroyed. In Braderhelm prison, every second is a battle to survive. Her neighbors are murderers, and the cold-blooded guards punish without mercy. She thought violent inmates possessed the greatest threat, but then she meets Takeshi Steele, the infamous captain who runs her cell block. As cold as he is ruthless, he'll break Kalani before letting her escape to the surface, a feat no prisoner has ever achieved. Do I hear a little bit of Prison Break happening? Because I also love that. But darker traps and secrets await within the prison's shadows, and more than one person wants her dead. In order to survive, she must fight criminals and uncover the truth of why she was locked away. If not, the prison will become her grave. Enter Braderhelm, where only the wicked remain. Like, that sounds so good. Kind of wanting to read this right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm living in my dystopian era. I've always loved dystopian. It's always been one of my favorite like subgenres, and I'm loving that it's getting a moment right now, so I can't wait to read this. I'm actually kind of sad that this didn't win my buddy read poll. However, I also want to read Verity Guild as soon as possible, so maybe I need to just like say fuck it and do a bunch of buddy reads. Hopefully our last roll, especially because my cats are being terrors. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right back where we started. We landed on Gods. I swear I have landed on this every single month, and it's actually a really hard prompt typically. I feel like I've reused a lot of the same books. I ended up giving this one to my Patreon. The 2 top tiers get to vote on something for my TBR every single month, so I gave them 3 options. All 3 of these are actually authors I have read from before, which was not planned, but just turned out that way, and I thought that was interesting. We have The Ascended by Bree Greenwich, which is the author of Riftborn. We have Crown Me Dead by Liv Xander, which is the author of Feather So Vicious. And then we have The Book of Sin by H.M. Wolf, which is the author of Daggermouth. I don't actually want to call the poll quite yet. They've only had 2 hours to vote, and it was during like work time. So I think I'm gonna wait till I'm editing this, and editing Cassidy will pop up on the screen which one won, and we'll be really excited to read this together because all of them sound interesting to me. And although that is the end of Snakes and TBR Stacks TBR, I actually am missing one book from this because mine and Mel's Patreon book club, which runs every single month, did not get on the TBR. We will be reading Prince of Swords, which is the second book in the Arcana Academy series. I'm very excited for this. We all read the first book together, and we typically do like to, when we can, pick the sequel for the whole book club to read as long as it went over well. Like if it went over poorly, we don't. But when most people ended up liking the book, we actually have votes and polls a lot of the time. People tend to enjoy reading the sequels with us. So very, very, very much excited to read this one. I gave Arcana Academy 4 stars and thought it was a lot of fun. The tarot magic in it is really cool, and I really do like Elise Kova's work most of the time, so I'm excited to see where the story continues to go. And I'm excited to read it with everyone. I think it'll be a fun one for us all to read together. This is missing a couple books, but I do think we're gonna have an incredible month ahead of us. I hope I can get to all of these. I'm hoping that, like, as I've been learning a little bit more about my habits, as this is my first summer in a new house, that I will end up making more time to physically read books. Maybe I can pick up some audios for some of these, and I hope I can get to all of them. Life is what life is. Quality over quantity, but I am really, really excited for every single book I put on my TBR. Let me know what you're planning to read in July, and if you want to continue hanging out with me, I am going to leave my recent unhaul on the screen for you because this was a lot of fun. I like tried a chapter and unhauled books that I didn't like the first chapter with, that I was no longer interested in reading, and then I will also leave my latest vlog on the screen for you to check out. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video and you'd like to leave me an emoji just to say you were here, leave me a crown emoji, and have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day.